Last night, James McDonald made his Pirates debut and delivered one of the staff's most dominating outings of the season in a 5-1 victory versus Colorado. Tonight, the Pirates look to build on that impressive win against those same Rockies in Game 2 of this series. Next on FSN. And what a beautiful night for baseball as the Pittsburgh Pirates take on the Colorado Rockies in Game 2 of the 4-game series. The only bobblehead giveaway of the year. Andrew McCutchen bobbleheads given away to all fans tonight. The popular, exciting center fielder of the Buccos. As we said, a perfect night for Game 2 of the 4-game series. Pirates' 7-game homestand continues. Last night, a 5-1 win over the Colorado Rockies. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass. Last night, James McDonald made his Pirates debut, and what a debut it was. He came over from the Dodgers over the weekend in the Dotel deal. Pirates said they didn't know what to expect. Boy, did he wow us last night. 6 innings, struck out 8. The first 4 batters he faced, great night, and the Pirates offense gave him just enough O.
Yeah, he was dazzling, and then you had some dazzling home runs hit by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ronnie Cedeno, and he has got some serious pop in that shortstop's bat. This is a laser shot. That's one type of home run. Ronnie Cedeno getting congratulated in the home plate, and then Garrett Jones, he shows you a different type of a home run, the towering, majestic shot that almost got a bounce into the Allegheny River. So a lot of dazzling, overpowering pitching and some good pop off the home run bats.
And the 3-4-5 hitters doing exactly what you want last night, the young guns.
And that's exactly what you want in a major league lineup. You want production from your 3, 4, 5 guys.
.2010 Pirates Baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by PNC. PNC, for the achiever in us all. By Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward.
Back at PNC Park for Game 2 of the 4-game series. Pirates and Rockies. Bucks have won 3 of the first 4 games of the 7-game season series. The lineups for Jim Tracy brought to you by Toyota moving forward. Dexter Fowler, then Todd Helton, .359 career hitter against Pittsburgh. Carlos Gonzalez is in left. Troy Tulowitzki, the cleanup hitter. Then Melvin Mora and Ryan Spilborghs. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. Clint Barmas at second. Jason Hamill, the pitcher.
And they'll be lined up against Zach Duke, making his 19th start of the year. 5-10 overall, 5.36 ERA. Good career numbers in the win-loss column against the Rockies, 4-2 in 6 previous starts. And he had a dazzler 2 starts ago in Colorado. Operative words, in Colorado. 6 innings, just 3 hits, a couple of runs given up in a 4-2 win. So let's hope he can build off that work against the Denver group here.
Dexter Fowler in the lineup and swings the first pitch. A fly ball to right. 1 pitch, 1 out. Lasting's Millage corrals it. That's a look at one member of the defensive alignment. Andrew McCutchen in center with Jose Tabata in left. Pedro Alvarez, Garrett Jones on the corners. Neil Walker makes his 29th start at second base. Ronnie Cedeno, his double play partner. Chris Snyder does the catching for Zach Duke.
And you never thought you'd see these numbers for Todd Helton. 250. 2 home runs, 16 RBIs.
Recently back off the disabled list. Helton reinstated 3 days ago. Missed 22 games with back troubles. Winding down a fabulous, I don't know if you say lock for the Hall of Fame. I guess I would. But
he certainly has to get consideration. And I hope you notice those career numbers at the bottom of his stats against the Pirates. He has had a career of wearing out Pittsburgh pitching. 359, I think it was something like 60 RBIs.
Wow. How about this start? That is rare with Helton. Helton usually is up there for about 20 minutes, it seems, fouling off pitches, taking pitchers deep into counts.
Yep, he will work you over each particular at bat. You're exactly right. And then hurt you late.
Nice start for Duke.
Not quite as dazzling as last night, but as effective for sure.
Carlos Gonzalez tied for 4th in the league in hitting, 7th in homers, 6th in RBIs. Ball 1 on Carlos Gonzalez.
They were able to slow him down 0 for 4 last night. He was on that hot train.
Gonzalez. To see where he stands in the batting race. Joey Votto, Placido Polanco, Rafael Furcal, and then Gonzalez and Marlon Byrd. Deep to center. McCutchen back. And it's gone. This guy can absolutely do it all, Carlos Gonzalez. Some kind of player.
He has certainly come into his own. Hit a home run for his pitcher, Jason Hamill, the walk-off last time Hamill pitched. It's a breaking ball, and he gets a lot of it. He has that kind of strength. Really, as it finishes up, no real question. It wasn't a matter of just over the glove of Andrew McCutchen, well up into the shrubbery.
That is the 24th of the year for Gonzalez. It is the 17th given up by Duke, and it's a strike on Tulowitzki. The Rockies have lost 7 road games in a row.
Yeah, and if they think they have had road troubles, and they have, well, they're preaching to the choir. We don't want to hear about it.
Fly ball center field, and this will stay in the yard. McCutchen. That'll do it. McCutchen bobblehead night. All fans get an Andrew McCutchen bobblehead, and he'll be leading off the bottom of the first against Jason Hamill. It's cleanup. Pedro Alvarez. By the way, Garrett Jones against righties this season. 285, 10 homers, 40 RBIs. Lasting's Millage hits 6th. Chris Snyder, Ronnie Cedeno, Zach Duke.
Working against the 27-year-old right-hander, Jason Hamill, 7-6. There you see his numbers out of Greenville, South Carolina. Originally coming to the big leagues with the Tampa Bay Rays, but after the 08 season became a Colorado Rocky. Won 10 games for the Rocks last year.
Strike on McCutchen.
Last 3 starts for Jason Hamill, 20 innings, 13 earned runs, 0-2. Last 3 trips.
McCutchen hitting .287, 9 homers, 33 runs batted in. Time called. Center fielder Fowler going to give his sunglasses to Carlos Gonzalez. Well, I'll tell you, Steve, Bob and I are believers now about the sun. We spent, of course, a night doing a telecast a couple of weeks ago out there, and that sun.
That half moon effect, it's not as pronounced tonight, but it has been.
So tough for left fielders in particular. And ripped to left field. Gonzalez will play that one off the grass. Leadoff hit for McCutchen.
No bobbling of the head there. Good
right
mechanics.
on it.
Yep.
Now another look at the base hit for Andrew McCutchen. 108 hits on the year.
I would expect to see some running from the Pirates. Iannetta has thrown out 4 of 24 attempts at second base.
We were talking about this last night on the radio side, Bob and I, that McCutchen has become, in Bob words, run. I said gun shy. He said run shy, and that's a good description. He has 1 stolen base since July the 2nd. 1.
It's August the 6th.
Opponents have attempted 14 steals with Hamill on the mound this season. 11 have been successful.
So you combine that with those Iannetta numbers, you got to go.
You got to go. Jose Tabata.
You got a regatta.
On deck is Walker. Hamill going to continue to throw over there as Jim Tracy and the Rockies are convinced that the time is now for McCutchen to take off. Well, how good has Tabata been since arriving on the scene? What a fine young 1, 2, 3 in the order they've put together. McCutchen, Tabata, Walker. And now varying his holds, and he'll step off finally. Varying of the move, and a big crowd getting anxious.
Yeah, what you're seeing is the Rockies being aware that they have not done a good job. Combine that with the fact that McCutchen likes to go. So that's what's prompting all this posturing.
Not going here. Tabata drops down the bunt. He'd have taken a hit, but he'll take the sacrifice. Defense behind Jason Hamill. We mentioned a couple of them already. We saw the outfielders Gonzalez and Fowler in left and center. Right fielders Ryan Spilborghs. Veteran Melvin Mora at third. Troy Tulowitzki has been a week back off the disabled list now. Clint Barmas, Todd Helton on the right side. Chris Iannetta is Jason Hamill's battery mate. Troy Tulowitzki is a good one. And he has a cannon for an arm, and he loves to show it off. Neil Walker batting from the left side. Overall average 306. 5 homers, 31 runs batted in.
You know, I never second guess managers. I just flat out don't do it. And we saw what Jay Bell did bunting as a number 2 man for years. But boy, Jose Tabata has a real hot bat right now. So I was a little surprised.
I don't think that was ordered from the bench. I'm guessing that was Tabata on his own. I think he was trying to bunt for a hit, but I agree with you, Stephen. He is so good too at going the other way. I Love seeing him swing the bat. McCutchen on at first. 2-0 the count on Neil Walker. Garrett Jones on deck.
Yeah, I was thinking he might have gotten out there a little bit early, but that might be his technique for bunting for a base hit.
I think Tabata would have certainly taken the base hit had he been able to push it up that first baseline. But settles for the sacrifice. Maybe a broken bat. Soft liner. Two outs. McCutchen still at second.
In on the handle.
Yeah, saw a piece of the bat. A broken bat liner to second, and now here is Garrett Jones. Bucks look for some 2-out action from their first baseman. He leads the team in homers and RBIs, 2 out of 4 last night. We showed you at the top of the telecast that home run that nearly cleared the fence behind the last row. Above the Clemente wall and right.
A lot of fun to watch. Good hang time. Hamill has given up 10 home runs in his first 19 starts. It's certainly not an alarming number, but about 3 rows from heading over that fence. Maybe 2 rows.
Didn't want to, but home plate umpire Bill Miller said he did. Fastball upstairs, 0-2 on Garrett Jones. And home run last night, snapped an 0 for 20 hitless string. He went on to get a base hit, a fly out to right, and a liner to center. Hamill trying to strand McCutchen. Pulled into the seats. Take another look at this majestic home run. Francis knew it.
Yeah, maybe 1 row away from that fence. Show it a couple more times, they'll have it in the river.
0-2 the count on Garrett Jones. Blocked by Iannetta. Bill Miller behind the plate. Todd Titchener, the first base umpire. Eric Cooper at second. And the crew chief. And last night's home plate umpire, Mike Riley. Did you see the Bob Davidson call last night by chance?
I did not.
Oh, brother. Cost the Marlins a game. He called a ball foul that was clearly fair down the third baseline. Fly ball to right. Spilborghs makes the catch. Leadoff hit. McCutchen stranded. Through 1 at PNC Park. Rockies lead it 1-0. And the good word, talking about his changeup. I did not expect my changeup to be that good. It was real good. I felt like I could throw it at any time. I wasn't afraid to throw it. I guess you could say that about any one of his pitches last night.
Yeah, and he found it early. He found it early. That was one of the big keys. And when you find it early, you'll run with it. If it's not there early, sometimes you just discard it for most of your time out there.
What a shot in the arm it was, and how exciting to think that maybe the Pirates landed a really good one. We had heard about his arm, McDonald. We'd seen him on occasion.
That was a live
Nobody
arm.
expected that last night. That was, and all the Rockies were saying the same thing.
Well, when's the last time we really have had a starter that can just say, hey, I'm in a fastball count. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it because it's that good, and show you that you're completely a power pitcher. Nothing wrong with a pitcher who has finesse and does a lot of pitching. Nothing wrong with that. Not all bad, too, when you can throw the ball down the middle and get away with it because it's that good.
How about that, Steve? Melvin Moore wanted timeout, thought he had it, stepped out, and then realized Bill Miller didn't give it to him, got back in there and did a Happy Gilmore. Watch.
BG staying alive. No.
Oh, I got back in there. Yep. Boom.
Do the hokey pokey and follow down the right field line.
Next pitch is popped up. Right fielder Millage. Melvin Moore is the first out of the second inning. Visit the official online shop of the Pirates at pirates.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the pirates.com shop. Accept no substitutes.
You know, Greg, I want Zach Duke to get tired right away because he's throwing some fly balls, and he's not a fly ball pitcher. One of them left the yard.
So that's what they say, Steve, how the more these sinker ballers
get tired,
the
more that ball will go downstairs and they'll get over it and won't have the life. Kind of ironic that say you don't want life, but you want that ball to have a little sink on it, a little dead finish.
Ball one strike on Spilborghs. And 1-2. We've heard some Rockies personnel say that one of the problems they're having, and particularly on the road, they're so anxious, I guess, Steve. They're swinging early in the count. They're getting behind in the count. And then when you're behind in the count, the pitcher...
Immediate advantage. And we saw that last night. What is it, like 14 out of the first 21 batters? It was strike one. And you're immediately in the hole. Advantage pitcher.
Here's Chris Iannetta as Spilborghs is caught looking. Second K for Duke. And it's strike one. Duke and Mahalam and Karstens in a bit of competition, slowing that curveball down. Both of them getting it below 70. By the way, you're seeing a lot of the behind home plate early on because the camera here at PNC Park really takes a hit the first couple innings as that sun sets. It's just that it's not even worth showing that view early until that sun sets. I mean, look at that. It looks like we got smoke. It's getting better.
Purple haze.
Yeah.
Hendricks.
2-2 the count on Iannetta. Jammed him, bounced to third, bobble, throw, and they got him. 1, 2, 3. Zach Duke retires the Rockies. Head to the bottom half of inning number 2. Pedro Alvarez will lead off. Inning against Jason Hamill. Alvarez, a couple of strikeouts, an RBI single last night. Now with 23 runs batted in. Ball one. His second look at a Rockies pitching staff. Pedro Alvarez, 2 for 13 so far in the 4 games played to date. He'll finish up the season series. 2 more games tomorrow night. Sky Blast 2. George Thorogood in concert after the game. Kids batting helmets given away on Sunday. Kids Sunday. Pop up toward the stands. Two-one count on Alvarez.
Well, there's still kind of parading across the bridge. We're going to have a real good crowd tonight. Perhaps a little bit of a late arriving crowd, but nonetheless, there's going to be a lot of people in this ballpark.
Still time to come on down.
Yep.
Great night. Fabulous.
It's still one of the great sights. People parading across that bridge to get in this ballpark. The Clemente Bridge.
Mm-hmm. Two balls, 2 strikes on Alvarez. Lefties hitting .263 against Hamill. Righties .277.
Got 100 strikeouts in his first 118 innings.
Bouncing ball to Parmas. Talking about the Clemente Bridge, that leads us to our This Day in Pirates History, brought to you by our friends at Day Automotive. It was on this date in 1973. Roberto Clemente becomes the first Latin-born player to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York.
The great Roberto. And the 5-year wait was waived.
Yep.
He was fun to watch play baseball. It was just fun to watch him play baseball.
Millage fouls it out of play. The great one, Roberto Clemente, and the Clemente wall, 21 foot high in honor of Roberto Clemente.
I've had people say they just couldn't take their eyes off him when they were watching him play. All aspects, the hitting, the running, the throwing. He ran with a gallop. I mean, he didn't look like he was fast at all, but he got there quickly.
Arms and legs everywhere, right?
Yep.
Well, that ball's hit hard foul.
I had a veteran Pirate fan say one of the great thrills was sitting down the right field line at Forbes Field, which is kind of a low seating area, and watching him go in the corner and back of the fan, and watching a throw come over his head for a play at home plate. Oh. Not out in the field area, over a section of the fans' heads. They're not watching out to the field, they're watching straight up for his throws.
Pop up to right. Spill boards, and the second baseman calls for it, Barmas. A ground ball to second and a pop up to shallow right, fielded by Clint Barmas. 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Leadoff hit by McCutcheon, and then Hamill sets down the next 5. Now he faces Chris Snyder. Snyder's 5th Pirate game. Possibility of seeing Ryan Domit as early as tomorrow.
Will the numbers be aligned here? Now, Hamill's given up 10 home runs. Chris Snyder's hit 10.
Fly ball to left. And Gonzalez. Pirates go down 1-2-3, and after 2 innings, still Colorado 1, Pittsburgh nothing. That Ryan Doumit could be back as early as tomorrow. Doubleheader being played tonight at AAA Indy. And right now in game 1, Doumit is catching. Scheduled to DH in game 2. And they will reassess the situation and possibly activate him tomorrow. They're playing in Durham against the Durham Bulls. Tonight's injury update brought to you by Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, slowed down by Alvarez to Cedeno and not in time to get Barmes.
Sharply hit. Pedro got a piece of it. Ronnie got the rest of it. But Barmes beats the wrap. Too many cooks to make that soup work.
Yep. Hamill bunts it foul. He has 5 sacrifice bunts so far this season.
Rich Dower, third base coach, telling him, Jason, you're bunting all the way here.
Now 0-2, and Steve, we always ask you this. You get out in front now, you go for the strikeout. How do you do it if you're pitching here?
Couple ways, and I don't know if they still feel this way, but back in the day, a low curveball low and away where the bat might tip and you get the foul ball, or the high fastball where you don't get up in time and you get the foul ball. Don't throw it down the middle of the plate.
So either high or low, get them stabbing, huh?
Yep. Yeah, because low, a lot of batters will have a tendency to tip down the bottom of the bat instead of keeping it level, and that creates a lot of foul balls and it's the automatic strikeout. Fastball, sometimes they don't get the bat up in time, foul it back.
There we are. Strike out. Hamill really upset with himself. Duke gets his mound opponent a strikeout. Take a look here at this foul ball.
See, that bat went down, didn't remain level. The trick is, in the way they teach you, you don't move the bat, you move the body. You flex the legs up or down, and that keeps the bat. Instead of keeping your legs the same and tipping the bat, well, if you keep the bat level and you work your legs up and down, it seems to be a better approach.
Duke 5-10, 5.36 ERA. A handful of other pitchers in the league have lost 10. 2 others have lost more. Wandy Rodriguez of the Astros, 11 losses. And Roy Oswalt, former Astro, now with the Phillies, leads the league with 13 losses.
But how many wins does Wandy have?
Wandy has reeled off a bunch more now, yeah.
He's lost a bunch, but he's won his share.
Most of those losses coming in the first 2.5 months of the season.
Boy, Zach is convinced that Barmes wants to go. Pirates recently, not a big volume of work, but have cleaned up their act and have been better against base stealers.
5 of 7 caught stealing now.
Change up. Universal sign for the changeup, wiggle change. 1's a fastball, 2's a curve, wiggle change. 3's a slider sometimes. There are variations on that theme. That's your fundamental sign package. Fastball, they want to crowd him.
Runner goes, he got it picked off. A balk is going to be called.
And that is rare. A balk on a left-hand pitcher. They say he didn't make any move whatsoever toward first base. Kept the body lined up with home plate, perhaps.
That's the third balk for Zach.
I was going to say they are just starting to call that a lot more on Duke. And I guess, Steve, word probably gets around these umpiring crews, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
You get a reputation.
Yeah.
You start to look.
To some degree.
Maybe unfairly.
Yeah, but I always thought you had to be a little more blatant than that as a left-hander to be called. They get away with murder most of the time.
The high falls behind Fowler, 3-1. When the Pirates were in Denver, Dexter Fowler was in the midst of a horrible slump. 3 for 42 during one stretch. Started to come on over the past week. Lines this ball hard, and Millage will play it off the fence, and he'll take a bad carom, and the run will score easily. 2-0. Barmes scores on the double by Fowler.
And that ball got out there in a hurry. No chance for lasting as Millage. All he can do is turn around, hope he gets the right bounce. He got an awkward bounce, but it was going to be a double and a run scored no matter how the ball bounces.
Barmes, the infield hit, balked to second, scores on the Fowler double. With one out, a 2-0 lead for the Rockies.
Now, Zach Duke handled Todd Helton comfortably first time up, but this guy, as you said, winding down, that terrific career, but still so very dangerous.
.37 years old on August the 20th, a first-round pick in 1995 out of the University of Tennessee. Todd Helton, one of only 5 players in the history of the game to hit at least .325 with a .400 on-base percentage and a .565 slugging percentage. The only other players in the history of the game to accomplish those numbers: Lou Gehrig, Albert Pujols, Babe Ruth, and Ted Williams.
Welcome to the club, Todd Helton. That is an exclusive club.
Off Snyder's mask. Had a long, great career, and it started in Pittsburgh. Three River Stadium off Francisco Cordova. Todd Helton's first career hit and home run in his major league debut against the Pittsburgh Pirates, August 2nd, 1997 at Three River Stadium.
They used to associate his name a lot with Peyton Manning, and then his name by itself was fine, was plenty.
That home run, by the way, was off Mark Wilkins, in case you were wondering. The hit off Cordova and the home run off Mark Wilkins. Yep, he was the quarterback at Tennessee with the Volunteers. So he became associated with Peyton Manning.
They both have done pretty well after completing their studies as volunteers, Tennessee Volunteers.
Three and two. This is more like a Helton at bat. Line into right center. Another run will score. 3-0.
Reminiscent of the days of Larry Walker, Dante Bichette, and Todd Helton coming on a little after that, but were they the Lake Street Bombers for a while?
Yep. th RBI for Helton as Fowler scores. And a visit from Joe Kerrigan. Duke trailing 3-0. By the way, due to the overwhelming response from fans, the Pirates are extending that no service fees week. for an additional week, so that all tickets purchased now through Sunday, August 15th, the Pirates will pay all service fees. So this deal includes any ticket purchased for all remaining Pirates home games for the rest of the season. Don't miss out on the great promotions. For tickets, visit pirates.com/no fees. Pirates are paying all the fees. They're not being waived. They're paying all these fees for an additional week.
We need that Duke ground ball right now. Gonzalez is hit into 5.
Chris Snyder's block.
Yep, kind of cupping the body. That's textbook stuff. He has a flow left to right when he does. He doesn't lunge. That's, I don't know, to me, real good technique. And it shows a lot of confidence. Doesn't lunge after those balls to the left or the right.
All fouled off.
Nice pick.
Very nice over there. I think that's Aaron Klein, Penn State Altoona campus, I believe. No, actually, I think that's Blaze Laboon, Cal U.
Is that a great name or what? Blaze.
Yep.
That's great.
Aaron Klein, Blaze Laboon, and out with the Bucko Blast numbers, Abby Heigl of Point Park University.
It just locked Mr. Gonzalez up. If Zach could duplicate that pitch, that'd be great. The other Blaze I know of was Blaze Starr. She had a pretty good career too.
Two and two on Gonzalez. 2-2 on Carlos Gonzalez, who hit that home run in the first inning. There's Abby Heigl of Point Park University.
Your alma mater?
Yes, sir. 2-2, ground ball, diving try, and they will just get one. As Jones tried to cut it off, Walker is there to throw out Helton.
A lot of movement on that play as Garrett Jones went way over, couldn't quite get to it. Play was going to go to second base anyway. As Zach Duke made his way over to first. A lot of traffic involved in that play.
Here's Troy Tulowitzki. Gonzalez 15 steals and 20 tries on the year. This inning started with that ground ball by Barmes that Alvarez got a glove on, deflected to Cedeno, infield hit. Then Barmes, after Hamill struck out trying to bunt him to second, he was balked to second. Fowler doubled home a run. Helton singled home Fowler.
There's the sinker pitch. Down underneath. If they chase that, they are playing right into your hands. That's called the benign grip. You can go to any grip from there. Your breaking ball, fastball, changeup.
The benign grip.
Benign grip, yeah. Doesn't give anything away. There's no particular indication at that point. All that changes there.
One ball, one strike on Tulowitzki. A strike inside corner.
Well, Gonzalez certainly a threat to run. He's doing everything for the Rockies these days. You wonder if Zach Duke gets a little gun shy about making the moves he likes over to first base because of the ball calls, whether he might back off his quote-unquote good moves, and they are good moves. Some are a little rule edgy.
Popped up and out of play. The ball, 2 strikes on Tulo, who missed 33 games with a fractured left wrist. He was hit by a pitch against the Twins' Alex Burnett, and that was a huge loss.
See, another reason not to like interleague play.
Runner goes, no balk call, but then the ball thrown into left. Tabata quickly to it, guns toward third, and into third base goes Gonzalez.
I don't know if it's just late over to first base or a late throw from Garrett Jones. I'm inclined to think the latter. Let's see what we can see. I think Garrett could have unloaded that a little quicker. Well, and then he hooks the throw.
Stolen base and an error on him. Yeah,
he threw it into on the wrong side of the runner.
It almost looks, Steve, as though Garrett Jones was looking for the perfect angle and then trying to make the perfect throw.
And got neither one.
Yep. See if Duke can get the out, make it a moot point. Gonzalez, his 16th stolen base. Jones charged with his 10th error.
Pick him up, Zach. Keep him close. Keep the Rockies in sight.
Oh, speared by Ronnie Cedeno. That looked like it was for certain a 4-0 lead. Instead, the Rockies, they do get 2 and lead 3-0. But Cedeno up to get it. Ronnie Cedeno takes a strike. Bottom half of inning number 3, and the Pirates trailing Jason Hamill and the Rockies 3-0. Cedeno hit his 6th home run of the year last night. Now has 24 RBIs.
And those low bullets right inside the foul pole. We were taking a look at that play, the throwing error by Garrett Jones. Talking a lot last night about the advantage a left-hand throwing first baseman has, because he can kind of step toward home plate and create that good angle on his throw to second base, either right at second base or maybe just a little bit on the shortstop side. But Garrett kind of hooked that throw, stepped out and then threw it on exactly the wrong side, threw it on the right field side of second base. No chance for anybody at second base to receive that throw. Very little chance.
Like they're talking about it. Neil Walker, Delwyn Young, and Garrett Jones.
That's a real simple conversation. Just throw it at second base or on just a step on the shortstop side. And the quick release. One of the factors in that play is that
you get rid of it quicker.
Yeah, because that guy's already on his way to second. You don't have a lot of time. It looks like an obvious, easy play at second base, but you got to have the quick release. That guy's on his horse. He is committed to go to second base.
Cedeno given a reprieve. Before he hit the home run, he had this pop-up, and Tulowitzki and Stewart and Spilborn's, it dropped, and then it drops just inside the foul pole. Seth Smith, Tulowitzki, and Stewart gave chase on that foul ball, and here he leads off with a walk, which is perfect. That allows Duke to try and bunt him over.
And he's good at it.
7 sacrifice bunts for Duke. Jason Hamill missed all of last year after surgery on a torn labrum. This is his 20th start of the season. He's won 7 games this season. Brief stint on the DL this year as well. Hamill won 10 games in 2009. The former Tampa Bay Ray. He was a 10th round pick of the Rays 8 years ago, and then traded to the Rockies at the start of the regular season for a minor league pitcher. Bunted.
Get out. Get out.
Cedeno gets back, but Duke fails to bunt the runner. The Hampton 8-year-old All-Starts are the new Trib Total Media Youth Baseball or Softball Team of the Month. This coach pitch group prides themselves on defense and have allowed 7 runs or less in every game. Your team could be next. Just write a short essay of baseball at fsnpittsburgh.net telling us why, and they could be featured during a Trib Total Media Pirates pregame show in September.
Congratulations.
One time through the lineup, Hamill has given up 1 hit, and that was McCutcheon's leadoff single in the first.
And the surprise has been the free pass. He's been very, very good with his control. 20th start. So 19 previous starts, 31 walks. Very, very good control-wise.
Averaging just 2.4 walks per 9 innings. That's the 9th lowest walk ratio in the National League for Jason Hamill.
So deduct 1 from that total because 1 was intentional.
Second career start against Pittsburgh for Jason Hamill. There goes the runner. And a strike is called, and a stolen base it is for Cedeno, his 10th. That's the way to do it. You don't bunt him over, fail to do it, steal it.
Well, both teams have figured out a way to do that. One with a balk, one with a stolen base. Well, when the catcher makes a good throw like that, you got to figure that Andrew did the deal on the pitcher, or Ronnie did the deal on the pitcher.
For 12 in the stolen base department for Ronnie Cedeno.
There is a lot of athletic ability in that body.
Yeah.
Just, I guess, we want more of it. We want it more consistent.
Consistent.
Yep.
The flashes of it really excite you.
Well, yeah, let you know what he's capable of doing.
The power, the speed, the arm that he has. Bouncing ball picked on the short hop by Mora. And a wide throw and safe at first.
Thank you very much.
Mora with his 6th error of the season.
Did a nice job on the pick and really had time because the ball got to him quickly. Just pulled Todd Helton off the bag. There he is. Plenty of time. And he knew it because he takes his time there loading up the throw. Sometimes these infielders take enough time where their mind gets involved. instead of the athletic instincts, and you start thinking about that throw. Sounds funny, but sometimes you think too much.
Jose Tabata with 2 on and 1 out. Down 3. Ball 1. Farrell Automotive League leaders. Highest averages among National League rookies. Walker and Tabata right there. 3 and 4 behind Buster Posey and Starlin Castro. Farrell.com definitely worth a click. Tulowitzki to second for 1. Double play. 6-4-3. Tulowitzki to Barmes to Helton. Ends the threat. 3-0 Rockies. Over the winter, and she threw a first pitch to JR's brother-in-law, her husband, before the game. Ceremonial first pitch. Richard caught the first pitch in a tribute, a moving tribute before the game to one of the great Pirate fans of all time. J.R. Kane would have been 36 today. J.R. Kane of Huntington, Pennsylvania. And Pirate fans really get a chance to know him and his sister and brother-in-law over the years. Longtime season ticket holder, a member of the Keystone chapter of Paralyzed Veterans of America. Retired from the U.S. Army and a paratrooper. Stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Served as a combat engineer.
And we're spending some time down in the corner where they watched various concerts going down after the game. And, they lit up a room.
Yep. Squibber, it's going to be a tough play once it got past Duke. Walker tries the impossible play. Mora has the infield hit. Base hit for Melvin Mora. Duke has to make the play or it's over. A little Squibber.
A little behind the back action. Nice thought, but at that point it's too late. And that was, well, they're booing Zach Duke, and it wasn't. I'll tell you why it wasn't the easiest play to make. First of all, he follows through to third base, and that ball had English taking it a little bit away from him. Yeah. If he gets it, I think it's a terrific play, but he had a couple things working against him there.
Yeah, way above average play if he makes it.
Yeah.
It's a...
that ball was hit funny. It had some English taking it away from where he was heading toward first base.
Crowd is tough tonight. Pirates haven't played great, but that one there, through no fault of Duke's, it was just a lucky swinging bunt single for Mora. Spilborns takes a strike. Bobbled. Quick recovery. Nicely done by Cedeno to really stick with it.
That ball was blistered at Ronnie. Get an indication how hard that ball was hit by how much they still got the out at first base. Here it is, hardly hit, in between hop, stays with it. Kind of a low feed, but still plenty of time.
Cedeno.
Again, a lot of athlete in that body.
Duke got Ionetta to ground to Alvarez to end the second. He and Miguel Olivo share the catching duties for the Rockies. Two and one. 2 starts back, a good one for Duke at Coors Field. Last time out against the Cardinals in St. Louis, 6 runs in 5 innings on 7 hits. Spent some time on the disabled list with a left elbow flexor strain. Todd Tichenor saying no swing. Last 3 starts.
See the St. Louis, not good at all, but the previous 2, one of which was against Denver, or the Colorado Rockies in Colorado, and Milwaukee, good starts.
Soft hit to right. Ionetta didn't know where it was. He was frozen at the plate before realizing he had a base hit. Time for the trivia question tonight, brought to you by AT&T Mobility. Rethink possible. Among South Korean-born pitchers, Chan-Ho Park has the most wins, 122. Who has the most saves? And there is one of the new additions to that bullpen. We saw Chris Resop make his Pirates debut last night with a strong 1-2-3 ninth inning. Chan-Ho Park joined the team right after the game. He was in uniform and came out, did some stretching and some long tossing. A veteran right-hander. Claimed off waivers from the Yankees. Kind of an unusual sight. The crowd gone, lights still on, and out there to meet some of the coaches. Chan-Ho Park in a new uniform. Well, 1 on Barmas. We were talking about this last night on the radio side. If Neil Huntington is able to, through waivers, claims, trades, whatever, reshape the bullpen again and stabilize it and get that ball to Meek and Hanrahan in the 8th and 9th after dealing those 3 veterans, and last night just 1 game, but a start certainly. It's a study on how a team like the Pirates should go about their business. Out of the race, obviously, and looking again to stockpile and get some talent in. Well, they acquire 2 major leaguers in it right away. And Snyder, the catcher, and McDonald, the starter last night, and some minor league talent. Talked to some people in baseball. They rave about the other guy that involved in that Dodger deal, Andrew Lambeau, now playing at AA. With John Bowker at AAA for the Giants.
There's a script you can write that can help that whole scenario. There's a ball down and away. Have your starters give you 6 innings. Now maybe you're looking for 1 inning. And you can't say on a daily basis, but you need that. If you're going to categorize it as 8th inning guys, 9th inning guys, you need a 7th inning guy.
Yep.
And that can be several guys. But the key is to get your starters to go 6 innings. That can help that whole situation immensely. Kind of breaks my heart to say that. I'd rather say 7 innings.
Yeah.
And that would be delightful.
Paul Mahalam will pitch on Sunday. Tomorrow night, Ross Ollendorf. And a base hit to center field. By Clint Barmas, his 2nd hit. Gets it to Hamill now with 2 on. And 2 out. 7 hits for the Rockies.
The double play cleaned up one of the hits. There's 3 hits, and Zach still with a chance to get out of the inning, and the perfect opportunity against his mound opponent, who has 4 base hits, 35 tries. But here's, if you want to keep him close, here's one of your key outs in this ball game. You got to get this man out.
Have to get him. Well, Duke has gotten 5 ground balls. That's not 5 ground ball outs, but grounders. A couple of those have gone for hits, including the leadoff squibber in the 4th. He was able to strike out Hamill by Hamill bunting the ball foul with 2 strikes his first time.
What you want to do here, you got the upper hand. Really, you have a tremendous advantage. Stay away from the middle part of the strike zone.
Duke is now 27 years old. He's in his 5th full year in the big leagues. But he has said it. He has got to step up. A very important couple of months for him. Strikes out Hamill. They lead 2. The Rockies lead 3-0.
FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Meadows Racetrack and Casino.
Welcome back. PNC Park. Beautiful night for baseball.
Yep, with Zach Duke running through the raindrops. So far, it's not been judged a full-fledged storm.
There's the Parrot doing his Andrew McCutchen impersonation. Andrew McCutchen bobbleheads given away to all fans tonight.
Whatever he does, nobody does it better.
Yep.
Mr. Parrott.
He is awesome. Neil Walker takes a strike. Walker, broken bat liner to second his first time up, will be followed by Garrett Jones and then Pedro Alvarez.
You got to change the script. Wasn't it McCutchen that hit the home run leading off the other night, and that was about it? Now he led off tonight with a base hit, and that's been the only base hit that the Pirates have put up on the board. Don't like that script at all.
Change that here. out. Oh boy, somebody got hit over there.
Yeah, but at least that went off the.
Walker saw it and reacted.
Yes, the advertising thing down the right field line took the brunt of it.
Young fan got it. Two balls, two strikes.
Mr. Hamill getting the ball to home plate 93 miles an hour. Very good strikeout to innings coming into the game, but has not recorded a strikeout tonight. Had 100 and 117 innings. It's very good. Trying to work that inside, trying to tie Neal up.
3-2. I mentioned that I had said, mistaken, that Hamill had missed all of last year with the surgery. It was last night's starter Jeff Francis who missed all of last year. Hamill spent some time on the disabled list this season. A weekly hit comebacker. Now time for the AT&T trivia question answer.
Get a chance to guess?
Go ahead, sure.
Chan Ho Park for most wins. I'm going to say Tentacoke.
All right, I'm going to say Byung-Hyun Kim.
The Diamondbacks guy.
And spent spring training with the Pirates, didn't he, last year?
Yes, he did.
Pitched for the Rockies. 86 career saves for Byung-Hyun Kim.
Sorry, Teak, but at least I voted for you.
Yeah, I had not realized that Teak originally was from South Korea. It's something that you learned.
South Korea? I thought you meant south part of Ohio. He's from southern Ohio.
That's right. He's from Jim Tracy territory, right? They both went to Marietta. Another broken bat, pop up left field. And Gonzalez. So Hamill rolling merrily along here. 2 up and 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. Tomorrow, Pirates and Rockies. And after the game, Sky Blast 2. George Thorogood live in concert.
Bad to the bone.
Only a few seats still remain for tickets. Go to pirates.com. And don't forget, all tickets purchased now through Sunday the 15th. All service fees paid by the Pirates. Sky Blast 2 featuring Zambelli fireworks and George Thorogood live in concert after the game tomorrow.
I think I'm going to hang around for that one. That should be fun.
Yep. Supposed to be a great night weather-wise again. And then Sunday afternoon, this homestand concludes. Kids batting helmets, replica batting helmets given away on Sunday. All 3. You and I were talking last night after the game, Steve. It is hard to believe that after the Pirates leave town, head on the road, they will have only 3 homestands remaining for the rest of the season. There's a 4-pitch walk to Alvarez. Second free pass.
3 homestands left?
3 homestands left after this one. Where has the summer gone?
Wow, I mean, it seems like we're knee deep in the summer. The heat has been here, summertime. Thick part of summer, and 3 more homestands. It's like somebody trying to jump started us into the month of August.
Yep.
You see the home stretch, when you get to September, but it was first week in August almost gone.
See if the Bucks can get some two out lightning going here. There's a junior Pirate.
He's expecting good things here.
Right to third. Mora will throw to second for the 4th. So through 4 innings, Jason Hamill is tossing a 1-hit shutout at the Buccos. A 3-0 Rockies lead. Batting coach Don Long talks about hitting the ball the other way.
And gets to use more of the whole field. The most important thing when you're hitting to the opposite field, and what a lot of young hitters will do, is they'll take this lead arm and they'll raise it up to try and drop the barrel, and they almost push the ball the other way. We want to hit the ball hard the other way.
You can catch the entire tip on Sunday's Trib Total Media Pirates pregame show beginning at 1 right here on FSN Pittsburgh. Don Long next to bench coach Gary Varsho. Top of the order, Dexter Fowler, 1 for 2. RBI double his last time up. Duke has had 1 1-2-3 inning. Hope to see him have an easy frame here in the 5th.
His mound opponent, as we said, Jason Hamill, struggling his last 3 starts, 20 innings, 13 earned runs, but not struggling tonight.
Lifted foul into the seats right field side.
I think we got 25,000 here tonight, Greg?
Yes, I do.
25 plus.
We're into the 30 range.
Okay. Remember the range I gave you, 29 to 32.
Yeah.
Before we had
I know it.
Yeah, I know. Our pregame production meeting.
Yep. Bounce to third, Alvarez. Retires Fowler.
And you can't waste any time with Mr. Fowler. He gets down the base path pretty quickly. Nice quick release by Pedro.
Duke now goes after Helton for a 3rd time. RBI single in the 3rd. An RBI for Todd Helton, giving him 1,219 for his career. Garrett Jones to Duke. 2 up, 2 down. We now check out our easytouse.com minor league connection. Good to see Chase Darno getting hot in Altoona. A 9-game hitting streak, batting .486 during this stretch with 5 steals. Leads the team in runs scored, doubles and triples. Chase Darno, easytouse.com minor league connection. Darno hopes to extend his hitting streak to 10. 0 for 2 tonight so far. A ball and a strike on Carlos Gonzalez, one of the top young stars in the game, and to this point quite underrated, very much under the radar. Don't hear a lot about him, but he's every bit as good as any other young star in the game. And he bunts the ball to 3rd. Easy hit.
But the light around him is getting brighter. It's really hard to hide anything in sports and in high-profile sports anymore. That's just beautifully done. That's a perfect bunt.
Now, do you mind that play at all, Steve? I guess you're up 3-0, but 2 out, bunt single by.
I'm okay with it with nothing happening, nothing going on. Get yourself a base runner. Maybe you can pick something out of a quick 2-out situation.
He stole a base in the 3rd. Maybe he's thinking along those lines again. Tulowitzki has fly to center and line to short.
He's got great speed. He can score on a double. Maybe he'll get a cheap 2-out run. They're never cheap, but that's how they kind of refer to it as. 2 quick outs. sneak a point out of here.
Tulowitzki 3 for 4 last night, but 0 for 2 tonight. He is a .442 career hitter against Pirates pitching.
So when you talk about a 5-tool player, you might be looking at Carlos Gonzalez. What, hit, run, throw,
hit for power, catch,
maybe the bunt the ball, bunting ability. I mean, he's just got a lot of tools.
Part of the 5 tools, the defense.
Yep.
Ground ball left side. Oh, diving stop. Can he get him? Can he get him? No. What a stop. And is he okay? Cedeno.
That's called all-out effort just to get there. He's okay. Just kind of
a phenomenal stop alone. Wow. Quickly to his feet. And an accurate, strong throw.
He did everything you could possibly do to try to get an out. Tulowitzki just hustled out the base hit. A+ for effort.
Yep.
A+.
By the way, don't look now, but Duke is getting the ground balls. That's 4 straight grounders.
But he's got to get another important out.
Melvin Mora, that squibber bunt, a swinging bunt single, leading off last inning and flied to right in the second.
Don't forget Mr. Gonzalez at second base. Nobody really paying much attention to him.
Duke will.
Yep. The more they're playing him so straight away, you've just got to let him know you're there if you're Zach Duke, because nobody's holding him on when they're playing that straight away. Cedeno not even in the picture. Thank you very much for that hesitation swing. Out in front 0-2 to Melvin Mora.
Come back. Duke to first, and that is it. Through 4.5 innings, Rockies have a 3-0 lead in Pittsburgh. Chris Snyder leads off. Andrew McCutcheon bobblehead.
She's got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Put him back in the box. Yep. No. It's a woman's prerogative.
A lot of
Change
work
your
to
mind.
be done here, though. You see that?
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do. You're right.
This may take a while.
Time to start working on this project. Just one Pirate hit.
2-2 on Snyder. Fly to left his first time up. And Snyder will bounce to short. Tulowitzki. One down in the bottom of the fifth. Tomorrow on Inside Pirates Baseball, get an inside look at the Buccos' brand new bullpen after the trade deadline. Plus, why muscle memory is crucial for a baseball player's success. Catch all this and more Inside Pirates Baseball tomorrow night at 6 here on FSN. Now Ronnie Cedeno, he walked his first time. A pair of free passes to Hamill, plus the McCutcheon single and the error by Mora, the 4 base runners.
Hamill has a 10 strikeout game under his belt this year, but has not struck anybody out here tonight. But that's just fine with him because he's kept the Pirates off the board with just 1 hit surrendered. Tenth round draft choice, Mr. Hamill. Tampa Bay back in 2002. Delivering some gasoline.
Two and two. Born in Greenville, South Carolina. Two and two on Cedeno. Full count. Again, he'll turn 28 next month. Jason Hamill. And he strikes out Ronnie Cedeno. There's the first K. Time to check out tonight's in-game box score presented by Mass Mutual. A lot of the story is Hamill, as you can see, a lot of offers. McCutcheon has the lone hit. Alvarez and Cedeno have drawn the base on balls. Thank you, Mass Mutual, and welcome aboard. Duke popped up a bunt try. One ball, one strike. .92 miles an hour.
Yeah, and you're just watching Jason Hamill now. He's in that comfort zone now. He's just turning that fastball loose with good confidence, good zip on it. So when you get in that zone, you're kind of free and easy, and everything is kind of smooth and flowing for you, not laboring. And that's where Mr. Hamill is currently. He knows right now that fastball is good enough against Zach Duke. He might go to another pitch because he has the luxury to When you have that kind of line right there after 4 2/3, feeling pretty good about a lot of things.
Able to get wood on it, but a fly ball to center field. And for the second time tonight, Jason Hamill retires the Pirates in order. They go quietly through 5, still 3-0 Rockies. Daniel go upstairs. A line drive hit by Troy Tulowitzki to end the 3rd inning. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
And how hard was that ball hit?
Blistered. And some hard hit balls. Now the last inning was more like it for Duke. Really got the 5 ground balls. First one was a bunt single. Spilborghs hit into a double play his last time up. And he bounces this ball to short. Nice little play by Cedeno off to his left.
Got a familiar face in the ballpark. This young man has made an impact with the Pittsburgh Pirates. His dad, Tom Walker, right there, celebrating this week the anniversary. In 1971, he pitched a 15-inning no-hitter in the Texas League. 15-inning no-hitter. Just one of those special outings that hardly anybody ever has. That's phenomenal. Down in that league with the Heat, and apparently no pitch count for Tom Walker.
August 4th, 1971.
Phenomenal.
Playing for Dallas-Fort Worth against Albuquerque.
15-inning no-hitter. Congratulations, Tom. Member of our Pirate alumni group. Proud dad. Very proud dad.
Fly ball to left. Tabata. Near the track, retires Iannetta. 2 outs. Tom Walker, of course, also played in the big leagues, but that was one of the top minor league performances of all time. But Tom Walker also played in the major leagues as well. Pitcher in his own right.
Expos, some work with the Expos, I know.
Expos, Tigers, and Cardinals. And a time with the Angels briefly. Tom Walker drafted by the Orioles in the 1st round of the 1968 draft.
A couple of first-rounders in that family, huh?
And then a Rule 5 pick from Baltimore by the Expos in 1971. Barmes pulls this ball foul and out of play. 0-2 on Barmes. Two for 2 tonight.
Good family, the Walker family.
Yeah.
You would enjoy spending some time with the entire family. Good people.
Ground ball, but that's just going to sneak right through. A slowly hit ground ball.
Just gently rolled to the left of Pedro.
Now the horses are approaching the starting gate, and the field is set for the 41st running of the West Virginia Derby. Catch the race live as the horses run the mile in an 8th race with $750,000 at stake for the winner. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5, right here on FSN. The 41st running of the West Virginia Derby.
I don't have a favorite horse, but it probably won't be any faster than that boat.
That's the way it goes for you?
Mm-hmm. I saw a greyhound in my neighborhood today. I'm pretty sure I bet on him down at Derby Lane in St. Petersburg this spring. Just coming around the final turn.
Pitcher Jason Hamill has struck out twice. Now 10 hits for the Rockies. A 3-0 lead, and the way Hamill's pitching seems like a lot, but the Pirates have now seen him twice, so they'll be coming up the 3rd time around. Hamill spoils one, stays 0-2. For Duke, it will be his 100th pitch on the way. Works to strike out Hamill. 5 Ks for Duke. 3-zip Colorado. There it is. And there he is, Zach Duke. Now he may be finished 100 pitches, and John Hope Park is loosening up. Only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, only 4 times all year has Duke thrown as many as 100 pitches. Line drive caught in right center field by Fowler off the bat of McCutchen.
He hit it well, but he's hitting in the direction of a guy that can go chase down balls just as good as he does. Fowler has that great speed. Jump off the ball makes it look easy. Zach Duke has put up 3 zeros after giving up the early 3 runs.
Tabata sacrificed in the first, hit into a double play in the third. Just one hit against Jason Hamill. And it remains 0-2.
And the rest of it's been done with no stress. It's been a very comfortable one-hit shutout through the first 5 and the third.
Did he go?
Sure did. No, he didn't. I'm glad I'm wrong. Better look from that side.
2-2. For the most part, Hamill's been around the plate. Not gotten deep into counts. Walked Alvarez and Cedeno.
The real surprising thing, just one strikeout. This guy gets his share and then some.
Headed up the middle. Base hit for Tabata. One out. Single to center. That black Pirate batting helmet. Wouldn't you love to have one of those? Well, if you're 14 and under, you can get one Sunday. Pirates giving away the replica batting helmets on Sunday, a Kids Sunday, the finale of the homestand, courtesy of Trib Total Media. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. Don't forget the Family Fun Zone before the game out on Federal Street. And kids run the bases after the game thanks to HK Pretzels. 1:35 first pitch. Kids replica batting helmets given away on Sunday. Neil Walker, broken bat liner to second, and a comebacker to the mound in his 2 at-bats against Hamill.
I'm not looking for him to take off only because you don't want to get thrown out here when you got the heart of your lineup coming up. You're struggling. I don't know if you want to take a chance on running into an out, but there he goes, of course.
Taken for a strike, and he is in there.
I'm on a roll. A check swing, stolen base. Kind of glad.
11th steal on the season for Tabata.
Well, I guess on the other side of the coin, you say, well,
I was going to say,
get him out there, you eliminate the double play situation.
You're too hard on yourself, Steve, because you said at the outset that Pirates might want to run, and you were right.
I just didn't know if it'd be in that situation, but glad they did.
As you said at the outset of the game, Pirates plan on them running anytime tonight, regardless of the score. Walker a chance to bring in a run. Walker with 31 runs batted in, 224 at bats. Those are solid numbers. He's hit by the pitch. So back to second will go Tabata as Walker is hit by the pitch, putting runners at first and second.
That's okay.
Bring up Garrett Jones.
Boy, I tell you, it's Hamill trying to crowd Neil Walker. That's been the theme. Get off the top of the foot. Ouch.
Bob Apodaca out to talk to Hamill. We're talking about Neil Walker and the RBIs. And, of course, one of the new metrics over the last handful of years, the OPS. A lot of GMs, a lot of baseball people look at on-base plus slugging as an indicator of top offensive players. Look at Neil Walker, and keep in mind, he didn't come up to the big leagues until 2 months into the season. But look at the players ahead of him. An 810 OPS. Kelly Johnson of the Diamondbacks, Dan Ugla, Chase Utley, Martin Prado, and Brandon Phillips. All but Johnson were all-stars.
Well, Garrett, why don't you just go ahead and hit it over the fence?
Garrett Jones has flied to center, flied to left. Has not pulled the ball yet off Hamill, who has allowed 10 home runs. Well, this place would be jumping if he was able to lift one out of here. Let's go Bucks chant. Strike one. One out.
You'd love to see that. You'd love to see that. You would like seeing a base hit. There's various degrees of affection.
Sign man, along came Jones.
Yeah, the old poster song. Along came Jones.
Here's the second line.
Oh, this
Slow walking Jones.
low talking Jones.
Low talking Jones, that's what it
Along
was.
came long lanky Jones.
Along came Garrett Jones. Tall, thin Jones. Well, they didn't have a shortstop on that pitch.
Did not.
Tulowitzki was expecting a pickoff, and so the left side of the infield was wide open.
There's the stretch. There's the shortstop. And there's a lot of empty ground over to the left.
One and two on Garrett Jones. "15 home runs, 62 RBIs in his first full season in the major leagues. Pulled past Carlos Garcia. Count remains 1-2.
I didn't know if Spielborgs is going to pick that ball up or not. He stood there for 10 minutes. Young lady down the right field line doing her job.
Tabata and Walker, the runners, one out, down 3 in the 6th. Hamill trying to make a big pitch, and Jones trying to come up with a big hit. 2-2. At the very least, get on. Pedro Alvarez on deck.
A little indicator right there. Might be running down the tank a little bit because he reached back. He wanted to throw that ball 98 miles an hour and got way out in front.
He gets Jones on strikes.
Went to the off-speed pitch, picked up his second strikeout, and it came at a very good time for him. Went away from the fastball. They're obviously looking for the heat.
Now Hamill will face the rookie, Pedro Alvarez, with 2 outs. Alvarez grounded to Clint Barmas in the 2nd and then walked his last time up. That was with 2 outs and no one on. And now Pirates need Alvarez to come through with 2 down. Ball 1. Alvarez 8 hits and 41 at bats in these situations, men in scoring position.
Nothing happening in the Colorado bullpen currently.
1 ball, no strikes. 2-0. Hamill wants a new baseball.
Now, one thing, I was talking about this a couple innings earlier when he was in that zone, that flow. Everything was smooth, contained, compact. Now he's gotten out a little bit. He rushed on a couple fastballs, and when you maybe don't have as much left, you're hunching up a little bit. You're trying to get more on it, and you get your body out in front, so you're not featuring that coordination you have before.
Drive to right! Pedro Alvarez has tied it! Oh, baby! What a shot over the Clemente wall! It's tied at 3. Pedro pounds one out of here, number 9.
Oh, Pedro! And that was a Pedro rocket. A rocket to right. We got ourselves a brand new ball game. And that ball was tattooed. Yeah, the gunner would have liked it. That's what you call getting it all. When you come back to the dugout, all they say is, did you? And all that means is, did you get it all? All they say is those two words.
Oh, they want a curtain call. This big crowd want Pedro to come back out. And he'll wait for perhaps another time. As Millage takes ball 1. 2 out, 3-run line drive home run, number 9 for Pedro Alvarez. He now has 26 RBIs. Playing in his 44th Major League game. Got ahead of Hamill, and he unloaded. Smiles in that dugout from his manager and his teammates.
You can't hit a ball much harder than that. That had height, but it got out so quickly. Pitcher's got the high hard one. That was the high hard one. Off the bat of number 17.
Fly ball to center. Fowler puts it away. Alvarez put it away. He saw a pitch he liked, and he launched one. And that one tied it at 3.
Pedro Alvarez, pitch by pitch, upstairs, out away, 2-0. 3-3. The score.
Bomb. That was a bomb. The big man, Pedro Alvarez, his 9th. And Safe Auto Insurance reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Now that is it for Zach Dukes. Dukes goes just 100 pitches. The Pirates pull him. And now it is Chanho Park making his Pirates debut. Now at the age of 37. Gwangju City, South Korea.
Mets this year were the Yankees.
27 outings with the Yankees.
29 strikeouts in 35 innings. Just 12 walks.
Neil Huntington said that the scouts believe that the fastball was still crisp. This ball lined towards center. McCutchen is there, and another divot.
But the smile.
Another divot. Not nearly as large as the other one, but my goodness.
He's going down the first fairway at Oakmont. This ball line. Andrew makes the commitment.
Strike on Todd Helton. Pirates made 2 pickups the other night. Chris Resop off waivers from the Braves, and Chan-Ho Park, this long-time starter for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Remember back in the day, they had a South Korean, they had a Japanese.
Oh, yeah, the United Nations rotation.
They had exactly right. They had guys from everywhere.
Park won 18 games in 2000, 18-10 with the Dodgers, 3.27 ERA. Evolved into a reliever and did good work with the National League champion Phillies last year, appearing in 45 games, also made 7 spot starts. The Pirates felt that he still had good life on the fastball, that 91. Breaking ball still crisp.
A couple of veterans going at it here, Chan-Ho Park and Todd Helton.
They have met about 50 times previously. Helton has had that many at-bats over his career. Lifetime .268 average, 11 for 41 with 4 homers, 9 walks, 7 strikeouts against Park. Swing and a miss off speed.
And soft on him. 2 quick outs.
That's a rarity. 2 strikeouts for Helton in 1 game. And now a check out around the major leagues. Mazda, in case you missed it, Steven Strasburg will return from the disabled list. He'll start on Tuesday after spending time on the DL with shoulder stiffness. Niger Morgan goes on the DL with hip soreness. Derek Jeter collected hit number 2,873, tied with Babe Ruth for 39th on the all-time list. And Bronson Arroyo, 7 innings, a 5-hit shutout ball in the shutout victory over the Chicago Cubs. And the Reds now lead the Central by 1 game over the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals are leading the Marlins in the 7th inning tonight
by a touchdown.
Well, as we were saying a couple of innings ago, that if Neil Huntington pulls this off, where he trades 3 veterans who, for all intents and purposes, probably weren't going to be back anyway next year. They did a fine job. Shot past Cedeno. 2-out single for Gonzalez. He has picked up his 3rd hit tonight. Last night, James McDonald, dazzling debut with Pirates uniform. 6 innings of shutout ball, striking out 8.
Just beyond the reach of Ryan Cedeno, and you're going to have to keep an eye on Mr. Gonzalez right now. Tie ball game, 7th inning. No more predictions from me, but they better keep track of them. Zach Duke, 6 innings, 3 runs, kept the ball club in the ball game, 10 hits, didn't walk anybody. I thought that was a big key. Struck out 5, no free passes. Zach is going to give up his base hits, but when he doesn't walk anybody to add to the base running total, then he can survive like he did tonight. Got some big outs when he needed them. Did not let the ball game get away. He will come away with no decision.
Chan-Ho Park, in his 27 outings this season with the Yankees, opponents attempting 1 steal, 1 for 1. Not much to go on there. Last year, 2 out of 4.
Well, Chan-Ho Park has been around long enough to know the score, literally, figuratively. He knows the score is 3-3. He knows he's got a base stealer at first base. He knows he's late in the ball game. He needs to keep track of it.
Gets away from Snyder. Could be a pass ball. It's a wild pitch.
Couldn't have come at a worse time. Chris will tell you that you should have got that ball.
Park now facing Tulowitzki with a man in scoring position. Tulowitzki has been one of the hotter players in the league since his return, certainly. 13 for 34 with 9 RBIs in the 9 games since coming off the DL. And a liner to left. And a base hit. And this will give the Rockies the lead right back. Tulowitzki, RBI single. That wild pitch, allowing the runner to get into scoring position.
Two outs, no problem for Gonzalez, who runs well to go on contact and score comfortably.
Tulowitzki, 44th RBI of the season. And now Park faces Melvin Mora.
Keep an eye on Tulowitzki too. Now that they have the lead, really no risk. 2 outs, not much happening. Just a very modest lead.
One ball, one strike. Chonho Park, first big leaguer out of South Korea with the Dodgers from 1994 to 2001. Time with the Texas Rangers following that for about 3 years. Padres for a couple. Time with the Mets.
Did he go down to Texas with a big contract from the Dodgers? Substantial deal.
Back to the Dodgers 2 years ago, then the Phillies last season, and with the Yankees before the Pirates picked him up.
2 quick outs here in the 7th, but then the base hit, the wild pitch, base hit. Well, I'm sure he did it last night, but do it once again. Congratulations to Chuck Greenberg and his group for purchasing the Texas Rangers, outbidding Mark Cuban.
Pittsburgh attorney Chuck Greenberg.
Like
Nolan Ryan.
Going to be a Pittsburgh deal somehow.
Yep.
Former owner of the Altoona Curve.
Fly ball to right. Millage. Boy, he went the wrong way, but he made the catch. A circuitous route, but Millage finally got there with a dive at the last.
Thank goodness.
To retire Melvin Mora. The Rockies lead it 4-3. What do you think it would be? Pedro Alvarez, 3-run shot last inning. 2 out with 2 on to tie it. Cold hard blast brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. The Rockies pick up the run in the top of the 7th, and Lasting's Village. Well, you can never criticize him for not hustling and giving it his all, even though it wasn't maybe the route that he would have chosen. He finally got there. They're checking on him between innings.
Rough landing, making that catch. Just go sideways before coming in, and then the recovery.
Matt Belisle takes over for Hamill.
Red hot string that he is on. Last 18 games in ERA of $1.25. More strikeouts than innings.
It's a double switch. Ian Stewart takes over at third. That 9th spot of the order due up 4th next inning. That's hit hard. Passed short. Chris Snyder leads off the bottom of the 7th inning with a base hit.
Here we go.
Belisle's numbers on the season.
Inning 65, strikeout 68, just 12 walks, 3 home runs. As we said, he's been very effective recent outings. Saying in the notes that the 65 relief innings, the most in the major leagues.
Daniel bunts it foul, was bunting it hard toward Helton, and that would have been easy out at second base. Snyder does not run well. He's a catcher, #1. He doesn't run well on top of that for a catcher as Evan Meek loosens up. Delwyn Young on deck. See if the bunt is still in order.
Hamill departs, having given up 3 runs on 3 hits in the 6 innings of work, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. He cannot lose it. He could win it.
And now the ball gets away, but it caroms out toward first.
How lucky is that? That ball come off his shin guard?
I think so.
That ball could still be bouncing around the blocks and back of home plate. I don't know if it might have got through it and bounced off the umpire's shin guards.
Oh, he kicked it. He kicked it with his right foot. Belisle steps off. Another look.
Through the wicket and off the shin guard of the home plate umpire.
Ball and a strike on Cedeno. He bunts that one, a better bunt. Helton thought about second.
Well, he did. The more he thought about it, the more risky it got at first base. But he makes the play, and the sacrifice goes 3-4.
Delwyn Young bats for Chan-Ho Park. There's a great look there at what Helton was thinking. Sacrifice for Ronnie Cedeno, moving Snyder into scoring position. That's the tying run in Snyder at second. Bob Apodaca out to talk about how to pitch to Delwyn Young.
Former Mets pitcher Bob Apodaca.
Delwyn Young, switch hitter, will bat left-handed. A dozen hits and 43 at-bats off the bench this season for a fine .279 average in these situations. Belisle pitched in in the series at Coors Field. Pirates' most recent road trip. Pitched in 2 of those 3 games. Was able to strike out Delwyn Young in the 9th inning in one of those games, as Young was a pinch hitter. Struck him out looking, in fact. And the Pirates won 6-2. Veteran Matt Belisle. Austin, Texas native. He has Delwyn Young in the hole 0-2.
Mr. Belisle, does he have a little bit of that Mike Fetters look to him, Greg? I saw him kind of having his head
jerky?
down. No, head down, and then all of a sudden, the look at this.
The quick look, yeah. Absolutely.
Not as pronounced, but yeah, along those lines.
Yep. 0-2 count. Steve, you and I were having kind of a pregame meeting out to kind of look over the city and the Allegheny well before the game this afternoon, and we weren't able to actually watch batting practice, but we were watching the activity around the Riverwalk, and a ball during BP sailed over the seats, over the right field seats,
toward the Riverwalk,
into the Riverwalk, and we quickly looked to see who had hit that ball, and it was Delwyn Young. He's got some pop. Just a hit here would serve the purpose.
A hit right there would really be nice.
Yeah. But a tough spot here, 0-2. Behind in the count to Matt Belisle. Checks and he takes a breaking ball.
After 2 real good fastballs, Belisle goes soft on him twice.
Delwyn Young, a .242 hitter from this side of the plate. Trying to get that tying run in as Belisle steps off. Belisle came to the big leagues with the Reds. Spent parts of 5 seasons in Cincinnati. This is his 2nd year with the Rockies. Checked. Oh, he thought about it. But did not chase the high fastball.
Well, it's hard to lay off that after a couple of soft off-speed pitches.
A 2-2 count on Delwyn Young. Snyder, a leadoff hit, sacrificed to second, and fouled away. 94 miles per hour.
And it's got to be kind of an interesting base hit if you want to score Snyder from second base. I mean, it can't be a bullet on one hop to somebody, because Chris simply doesn't have the speed. Could be a decision time for Tony Beasley, but let's hope for the base hit first and then the proper decision.
2-2. McCutchen on deck, and Belisle taking his time and now wants to talk with Iannetta. They're going to come to terms on what to throw here. Belisle drafted out of high school by the Atlanta Braves in the 2nd round of the '98 draft. The Reds picked him up in a trade for Kent Merker back in August of '03. A number of years with the Reds. In fact, he was in their rotation for a good while. Two-two. And a pop-up. Gonzalez coming in. And 2 outs. Belisle able to get the pinch hitter Delwyn Young. And tonight's honoree will come to the plate, Andrew McCutchen. Bobblehead night, the only one of the year. Ball one.
A little help perhaps for Chris Snyder now on a base hit because he can take off on contact. Earlier start.
Rip there on the fastball. Registered 94 miles an hour.
Advantage Belisle on that one.
McCutchen has singled, reached on an error, and lined the ball to the warning track in right center. Checks and he takes.
Boy, that's not an easy take either. 88 miles an hour just off that outside corner.
McCutchen doubled off Belisle last week in Denver. Snyder now at second with 2 outs, down 1 in the 7th. Bounced foul past Tony Beasley, evens up the count. Jason Hamill went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. Belisle allows the leadoff hit to Snyder. Gets the next 2, a bunt and a fly ball, and a pop-up. Skied to center. Fowler for the final out. The Rockies keep their 1-run lead going now to the 8th inning. Defense, Ronnie Cedeno on the Troy Tulowitzki line drive. Andrew McCutchen also makes a fine play. Shallow center, and the catch made by Lastings. Millage, diving grab to end the top of the 7th inning. The Aspendell plays that made you smile.
Lastings did take a bad route, but you know, could have quit on that ball too right at the end, but he didn't quit on it.
Nope.
Did not quit on it. Couple innings to go in regulation. You see the attendance, a great turnout, 30,711 coming across the bridge. Over on the North Shore tonight, spending the evening here at PNC Park. Evan Meek looking to keep it at a 1-run ball game. Take a look at his numbers. John Hope Park goes in inning, giving up a run on a couple of hits, recording 1 strikeout.
And what a warrior he was, Steve, the other night, Evan Meek. 2 innings on Tuesday against the Reds. You could see him running out of gas and doing everything he could to keep it together. Pirates held on to win it 7-6.
very much a blue-collar win for the Bucks.
He was up for 3.
He was a huffing and a puffing.
Yeah. That fastball misses to Spilborghs. Evan Meek, 2 innings in each of his last 2 appearances. .96, 2-2 on Spilborghs. Meek inherited a couple of runners the other night, and Bill One would score, got 3 outs. He allowed 2 in the 8th inning. The Reds crept to within 1. Comebacker. 1 out in the 8th inning, and now Toyota presents the road ahead. Toyota moving forward. Brought to you by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Tomorrow, 6:30 airtime for the Rockies and Buccos. Sunday afternoon, the series and the homestand concludes. 1 o'clock on FSN. Don't forget, kids' replica batting helmets given away to all fans on Sunday. And then the Pirates hit the road. They'll be in San Diego starting Tuesday night at Petco Park against those surprising Padres.
Padres hanging right in there. A couple of games up on the red-hot San Francisco Giants.
These Rockies trail by 7.5 in the West. 3rd place behind San Diego. There's Jim Tracy, former Dodger manager, former Pirate skipper. San Diego in Arizona tonight. Giants in Atlanta. The wild card race starts to come into play as well, of course, this time of year. And the Rockies 5.5 back. Giants a 1.5 up on Philadelphia. Cardinals so a 1.5 back of San Francisco. Of course, everybody thought the Rockies were completely out of it when they fired Clint Hurdle last year. And Colorado went on one of the most amazing runs, second-half runs in baseball history. From May 29th, when he took over, to the end of the year, they were 32 games over 500. The second-best record in the major leagues in that span, trailing only the eventual world champion Yankees. They went on to earn the wild card spot. Troy Tulowitzki was the leader down the stretch. Didn't chase. It's a 1-out walk to Iannetta. Breaking ball, and he walks the catcher. Now it's Clint Barmas. He's 3 for 3. His average up to 256. Barmas has 8 home runs. He's knocked in 47. And he chases the high fastball. Meek tries to keep it a 1-run deficit as the 2, 3, 4 hitters will be due up for the Pirates in the bottom of this 8th inning.
Not much of a chance for Iannetta to run.
One ball, 1 strike. Barmas keeps looking down at third base coach Rich Dower.
It does take off, certainly not a straight steal. They would use the run and hit.
And a fly ball to McCutchen. Second out. There's Ian Stewart, his first at bat. Tracy double switched in the bottom of the 7th when he brought in Belisle. See Stewart's numbers. He was 1 for 4 last night. Iannetta, the base runner. Foul off by Stewart. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talked about this last week. Stewart, a first-round pick 7 years ago, the 10th choice overall in 2003 by the Colorado Rockies. Came up with some great work in their minor leagues. And in 2004, in the South Atlantic League at Asheville, North Carolina, hit .319 with 30 homers, drove in 101, and then went on to marry the manager's daughter.
Well,
1 and 2.
I don't know if that'll advance you the next year. You might have to stay at Asheville.
Joe McCulloch's daughter Susan married Ian Stewart, longtime manager down there at Asheville in the South Atlantic League. They got the wave going.
Once upon a time, the Asheville Tourists were a farm team of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Way back. Beautiful part of the world.
Did you play there?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Yep. Up near the Biltmore Estate, up in the mountains of North Carolina. Gorgeous area. My time was brief there. When you're 1 and 5, you usually don't stay in a town very long. I moved over to the other part of the state to Kinston, which was not nearly as pretty, but much better year.
Still 1 and 2. And Stewart lays off. 2 and 2 the count.
Kind of an extended pitch count inning for Evan here in the top of the 8th inning.
Super Meek. Foul ball. Super Meek tries to get the strikeout of Stewart. Just an out. Stewart is second on the team in strikeouts behind Carlos Gonzalez. And you know about Meek's great numbers, the Pirate All-Star. 60 innings, 51 Ks. They got him.
Okay.
Super Meek, a scoreless 8th. Pirates have 2 more shots. Down 1. Tabata will lead off the bottom of the 8th.
is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
Different look at PNC Park.
No bad looks
Nope.
at this building. None whatsoever. Every angle's good. Pirates, where they want to be in the batting order, need to get it done. It's getting late on a Friday night.
It's Tabata, Walker, and Jones. Walker the switch hitter, of course. Jones, and then somebody reaches Alvarez. Back-to-back lefties. Joe Beimel, one of two relievers loosening in the bullpen. Strike one on Tabata. Singled and then stole second his last time up and was aboard when Alvarez homered, and now it's 0-2.
Right cross to the jaw.
Betancourt joins Beimel.
Usually find a lot of busy bullpens in 4-3 game in the 8th inning.
Their closer is Houston Street. Off the tip of the glove.
Thank you very much.
I think. Yes. They probably get the out if he doesn't touch it. Instead, it's a start in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Recovery made by Barmas, but not in time.
What do you think? Do they get him?
I think there's a better than average chance. Now, do the Pirates think about running now? They've been successful.
Do they bunt Walker?
Another good question. Stewart in on the grass, thinking along those lines.
See what they do here. Step off to see. Yeah, it looked as though Walker was running that left hand up the barrel of the bat. It looked that way anyway.
All eyes on Tony Beasley.
Neal doesn't have a sacrifice bunt yet in the big leagues. Not bunting. 1-1 on Neil Walker. See if Walker faced Belial at all last week. He did not. Belial out in front, 0-2. The Pirates rookie second baseman Neil Walker. Hitting .357 at PNC Park. Last 19 games, hitting at a .377 clip. Oh, what a save that was.
Wow, they got him. Oh, my goodness.
Tabata froze, went back and forth, and then decided too late to get back. Was just frozen. Didn't know exactly where the ball was. If he takes off right away, he probably reaches, because Ionette had trouble finding it.
Yeah, right there. He gets caught in no man's land.
And a quick tag from Helton.
There are many times when the ball gets behind the catcher that you'll make that commitment to go, and he's got caught in the middle.
Gigantic break there for the Rockies. Remember, they scored the go-ahead run thanks in large part to a wild pitch. Another look. Take
right
off
there,
right there.
right there. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. The indicator that when that ball goes behind the catcher, and you've already made a semi move, that's that's if you break 10, you're home free.
Let's try and put that behind them and go back now at Belisle without a base runner and down to their last 5 outs. Walker battles Belisle. Can assume that this will be Belisle's last batter with Beimel ready to face the left-hander Jones, and then Alvarez. Another 1-2 pitch. He got him. Belisle strikes out Walker. And here comes Garrett Jones. And out comes Jim Tracy. Tracy's going to make the pitching change. He wants Beimel to face Garrett Jones. Columbia Gas 8-1-1 call to the pen. 4-3 Colorado. Honest answers to your Buccos questions when you ask T. The AGH Sports Medicine Pirates postgame coming up after this game on FSN. Pedro Alvarez had a 3-run homer in the 6th. Starter Jason Hamill to tie it. Now it's Joe Beimel. Beimel on the bluff.
Former Bucco, and he has been doing a terrific job in just this kind of situation. Left-hand batters hitting 143 against Joe B.
Turned 33 in April. St. Mary's, PA native and the Duquesne University product. Garrett Jones fans rooting on the Bucco first baseman who's 0 for 3 tonight. Lefty's hitting just 167 off Beimel. 10 hits and 60 at bats.
See from that shot there, Joe hides the ball well. Kind of tough to pick up. Joined the Rockies middle of April.
He pitched in the first game of that series at Coors Field in Denver against the Pirates. Gave up a home run to Neil Walker. Pirates won that game 4-2. He got Garrett Jones to fly out. Now 1-2. In fact, after the home run by Walker, that made it 4-2. He retired Garrett Jones and Pedro Alvarez, both on fly balls to right. What about hiding the ball, Steve?
That's what the batter's looking at, and he keeps it kind of cocked and back up before he brings it around that shoulder.
Bounce to the right side. Helton tosses to Beimel for the out. A promising start to the 8th. And nothing going. 4-3 Rockies. Colorado had taken a 3-0 lead in the 3rd inning off Zach Duke. Stayed that way till the 6th. Pedro Alvarez the home run to tie it, but top of the 7th inning, 2-out single by Troy Tulowitzki gave Colorado the lead. Joel Hanrahan makes his 50th appearance of the season. Chan-Ho Park will be on the hook for this one. Tough, wild pitch, a ball that was just unable to be handled by Chris Snyder. Tulowitzki took advantage, got the run home with a base hit. And the Pirates in the bottom of the 7th and in the 8th had a base runner aboard.
We had a chance to do something with what would have been a wild pitch if Jose Tabata keeps going.
The next 2 innings, the 7th and the 8th, the Pirates got their leadoff man on. If it stays a 1-run deficit, the Pirates will see Colorado's closer Houston Street. No decision for Zach Duke. 10 hits in 6 innings, 3 runs. Fowler now batting from the left side, where he's hitting just .226 this season. Two and 2 on the speedy center fielder.
Trying to keep up with the fastball slider package. It's a good package from Joel Hanrahan.
Hits this one deep to center. McCutchen back. How about that? Off the top of the wall. It is gone, according to the second base umpire, Eric Cooper. Eric Cooper rules home run. John Russell not so sure. We may have a replay. For the time being, it's a home run for Fowler and a 2-run lead for Colorado. John Russell.
And Cooper expecting, kind of looked right into the Pirate dugout, expecting John Russell to come out. John's got to at least get an explanation on it. He went downstairs, kind of golfed the ball, just had a lot of carry on it. Let's see what we can see.
Got in between the padding and bounced back out. It looked like.
Doesn't have to clear. Has to clear that, doesn't it?
Well, in terms of the ground rules, talks about a batted ball in flight striking left of the vertical yellow line in right center and rebounding into play. It's still a home run.
I think they're going to have to look at this. Yeah, they got to. That ball's got to clear.
Yeah, ball striking the railing and bounding into right field is still in play, so I think you're right. I think it's going to be a double. We have had replay a handful of times. Yeah, that's going to be a double.
Double or just a live ball?
They're going to review it, and the replay rules put into effect last year. It's used to determine fair or foul, fan interference, or a ball leaving the playing field. Managers cannot demand a replay review. The decision to reverse a call is made by the crew chief. In this case, that's Mike Riley, who's the umpire at third base tonight. After the review, the crew chief returns to the field, signals the final call, and repositions the runners if necessary. The decision made by that crew chief is final, cannot be argued or protested by either team. So they're right now down beneath the stands, essentially in a runway, looking at those replays that you just saw.
Now, if they can reposition, I almost think they've got to reposition Fowler at third base.
Oh, maybe you're right.
If it's live.
Yeah.
But to be determined.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Steve. If I guess Jim Tracy would have an argument if he comes out and repositions.
If he puts him in second base, you'll see Tracy.
Yeah. You're right. Here they come.
Quick look.
They're back out. You're right. Third base. It's a triple. Well, you can't argue it unless he's saying second base.
I don't think you can argue anything.
No, you're not allowed to argue. Now, Tracy's making sure that he's at third base. I'm sure of that. He's just getting an explanation here.
I'll tell you what. If nothing stopped, you can't, Jim, you can't put your hands on the umpire. If that ball is in play, I'm not so sure that Tracy's arguing he could have got 4 bases out of it because of his speed. But they can't argue. He's just getting. You can ask for an explanation, but you can't protest it. You can't argue it. Now see where Andrew is. He's fully committed. Fowler has great speed. I mean, great speed.
A triple for Dexter Fowler after the review. And the Pirates still a huge task to try and keep him from scoring with nobody out. The infield in and Todd Helton at the plate.
Well, you do have a strikeout pitcher out there.
Second of the season for the Pirates in terms of the review. Seventh time a play has been reviewed in Pirates history. The replay went into effect in 2008.
And I think we've got a shot of where Fowler was at the time the ball landed up on the top of the padding. Give you an idea of where he might have gone. See if we can. Rounding first. Ball's on the ground.
Geez, the Pirates have an argument there. Man, that's not a triple.
They haven't picked the ball up yet, though.
First and third. I don't know about that. Obviously, the rule says you don't get thrown out at third. Obviously, the first out of an inning.
Yeah. How far can we continue this roll here? The ball is on the ground. Andrew's falling away.
Now he picks the ball up.
Oh,
yeah,
come on. He's third base.
Yeah, he's got third. Yep. Yep. Mike Riley, the crew chief. It's first and third now. As Helton draws the walk. I mentioned Carlos Gonzalez, very dangerous, but also a strikeout candidate. Tonight he has homered, bounced to second, reaching on a force play, stole a base, a bunt single in the fifth, singled and scored in the seventh. 97 on the gun, 0-2 the count. Hanrahan working hard to keep this a one-run deficit. Pirates have been out hit 13-5.
If he gets him, this would be the 100th strikeout for the year for Gonzalez. Now the ball just trickles out of the glove. Or did it not? It did. I thought I saw it on the ground.
Yep. Stays 0-2. Two, 1-2 count now. Fowler still at third. Earlier this year at PNC Park, July the 3rd, there was a call reversed on Jason Worth of the Phillies. Instead of a home run, a double was ruled. Full foul.
Joe is convinced that Gonzalez is looking for a fastball. Several off-speed pitches in a row. Still grinding.
Gonzalez was 0 for 2 against Hanrahan last week in Denver, including a strikeout. A 2-2 count now on Carlos Gonzalez. 24 home runs, 73 RBIs. And plenty deep. The score Fowler from third. He will score after all as McCutcheon's throw will come to second. Sacrifice fly for Carlos Gonzalez. Second RBI of the night and 74th ribby of the year.
Huge run for the Rockies. Real cushion for Houston Street at this point as they go 5-3.
Tulowitzki, a couple of hits and 4 at bats. Joel Hanrahan last worked on Tuesday against the Reds. Pitched a scoreless inning for his first save as a Pirate. And his first save since May 24th last year.
I don't think you want any business with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner, so they decided to just go ahead and take that one and hope for something better. Not much you can do with that one.
Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tulo, Troy Tulowitzki. Two and two. With Dotel being traded to the Dodgers, Pirates have announced that Hanrahan and Meek both will have opportunities to close. Delwyn Young, James McDonald, Zach Duke in your picture. And a base hit going the other way, Tulowitzki. And now we'll have Jason Giambi pinch hitting for Joe Beimel.
Pretty good looking slider, pretty good piece of hitting by Tulowitzki.
Still just a 1 out, and here is Giambi. Giambi started at first base last night, was 0 for 4. His last at bat against lefty Justin Thomas, with the ball the other way to the wall, caught by Tabata. By the way, Justin Thomas was sent back down to make room for Chan-Ho Park. 2-0 on Giambi. Here comes Joe Kerrigan. Two-0 count, 1 away, 2 on. Hanrahan facing the 38-year-old Jason Giambi.
The very essence of the grizzled veteran is. Get a look at Jason. Has been around the game for some time.
Most valuable player of the year in 2000 with the Oakland A's. Two and 1 on Giambi. Signed by the Rockies last August 24th after he was released by Oakland, as Oakland had re-signed him going into last season. And after 7 productive seasons as a member of the New York Yankees.
You got that Pete Vukovich look from Major League working.
Yeah. Two count. And up the middle. Giambi with a base hit. Helton is waved, and the throw will go to third. And out. No, safe call. Safe call by Mike Riley.
Said that Pedro missed the tag.
And now a 6-3 lead. Jason Giambi, the RBI single. Hanrahan tried to kick it.
So that angle looks like Mike Riley was right.
Yep, and Mike Riley was
at the perfect angle.
Oh, yeah, he did miss him.
I mean, at the perfect angle for the umpire, but he did see the swipe miss. Like he came with the glove under the arm.
Well, Steve, are you a bit surprised that McCutchen didn't give Helton a shot at home?
I am. Yep, because Todd doesn't run well. I mean,
and at this point in the ball game,
what do you got to lose by giving a shot to prevent that run?
I understand in a lot of cases you keep that double play in order, but in this case, well, the Pirates could afford to give up another run, and Helton does not run well. I wonder if McCutchen might have had a shot. Instead went toward third. That would have been the second out had Alvarez applied the tag.
I think the original look gave us a better look, but Mike Riley was not in the best of, because he had the body of the runner between him and Alvarez, so the positioning wasn't like I originally thought. But from the camera angle from center field, it looked like the swipe did come up short of the tag.
So now it's a 6-3 lead for the Rockies. Seth Smith bats for the Spilborgs. Hayes goes down. Second out of this ninth inning. Another look at the play. McCutchen's got the ball now.
50-50 shot, but yeah, what do you got to lose?
Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen. Our team standing by, extended highlights, analysis of this ball game. Plus, you'll get some great answers to your questions when you ask Teak. The AGH Sports Medicine Pirates postgame coming up following this one on FSN. Pirates currently down by 3, so the save is still in order for Houston Street. But John Russell does not want to extend Joel Hanrahan any further. He calls on Daniel McCutchen. You got to keep in mind there are 2 more games left in this series, and if he pulls Hanrahan now, he probably figures he still has a shot to use him tomorrow.
Exactly. But you can't send him out there in a non-save situation and burn him up and lose a day or 2.
This is an interesting situation with Daniel McCutchen as Hanrahan looks on. Daniel McCutchen has had an opportunity to start with the Pirates the last couple of seasons, was putting up good numbers in the minors, but he had control issues, unlike McCutchen in his minor league time. really trouble with command in his big league starts. So the Pirates have him out in the bullpen now. He pitched a scoreless 9th inning on Wednesday against the Reds. His first bullpen outing. They haven't given up on the idea of him starting again, but maybe he could fill that DJ Carrasco role, providing you with some long innings, short innings, with just kind of a Mr. Do-It-All. Daniel McCutchen started the season in the starting rotation. Up and down a couple of times. In fact, this is his 4th stint with the Pirates. He was recalled Saturday.
You know, the issues continue with the Pirate bullpen, obviously, tonight. But kind of on the back end problems, which we hadn't discussed. You know, you talk about Meek and Hanrahan as you watch this ball that Chris keeps out in front. Evan Meek, a scoreless inning, but he struggled. I mean, it wasn't clean.
It was laborious.
Yeah, he worked hard. And then Joel having all kind of problems.
Ball and 2 strikes on Iannetta.
So the issues spill over.
Two count. Daniel McCutchen, an 8.18 ERA in 7 starts this season.
With the euphoria in the bottom of the 6th, somewhat of a memory right now.
Well tipped. Does he hold on? He did. Nicely done by Snyder. Strikeout. Last shot, down 3. After this, how about that? That's a sleight of hand. He was able to convince Bill Miller. A foul tip, a batted ball that goes sharp and direct from the bat to the catcher's hand and is legally caught. It's not a foul tip unless caught, and any foul tip that is caught is a strike and the ball's in play. It's not a catch if it is a rebound unless the ball has first touched the catcher's glove or hand.
Which is not the case there, correct?
Pedro Alvarez gets a nice ovation, and as you said, Steve, the euphoria of his 6th inning home run that tied it at 3. Place was on fire here. Electric. But that top of the 7th inning really deflated this crowd and this Pirates team when Carlos Gonzalez scored on the Tulowitzki RBI. Seth Smith takes over in right field, and you can really go back to that wild pitch. Off of Chris Snyder's mitt that allowed Gonzalez to go to second. As Houston Street looks to earn his 7th save and 8 chances.
But even then, in the bottom of the 7th and the bottom of the 8th, before the crazy business started in the 9th, the Pirates
had their leadoff man on both times. Yep. Could not cash in. The leadoff hit by Snyder. He was sacrificed to second by Cedeno. Delwyn Young and Andrew McCutchen flied out. And then still down just a run in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Tabata leadoff hit, but picked off with Neil Walker at the plate when he tried to essentially advance. He couldn't get back on the ball that rolled behind Iannetta. 3-0 the count. Need a couple of base runners. No rule against coming back.
Nope,
even
no law against it.
A closer like Houston Street. He's a rare breed these days. He is one of the few relievers, let alone closers, who still works from a full windup with nobody on base. Most days they work from the stretch.
Doesn't walk very many people.
He's got a little Tim Benz look to him from our radio flagship station, sister station, 105.9 The X. Houston Street. Still 3-2. Tim Benz does some TV work as well. Houston Street has done good work as a former A's closer and now with the Rockies.
Unusual also in that he's got that low number 16.
And gets Alvarez looking. One out.
Has allowed just 3 walks this year, so not surprising he was able to come back. I'll tell you, pitchers that have the ability of showing you pitch after pitch upstairs and then going downstairs, get you thinking up there. There's so many pitches taken. And they set you up, right? And vice versa. They get you looking downstairs, they go up, they'll lock you up every once in a while. Get you thinking in a certain neighborhood where you've seen 2 or 3 or 4 pitches. They go away from that. You have a tendency to flinch at times, not pull the trigger.
Houston Street hit by a line drive during batting practice last week when the Pirates were in town. He was taken to the hospital. They diagnosed him with a lower abdominal contusion. Spent that night resting at home. Was out of action for a couple of days. As Milledge fouls off another, stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. He was down on the ground once again during batting practice last week at Coors Field, and then eventually carted off in the stretcher into the ambulance. Houston Street.
Batting practice since.
Hit on a line drive off Ian Stewart's bat. Passed out 2 or 3 times, had ringing in his ears according to their trainer. He missed the first 69 games of this season with an inflamed right shoulder as Milledge lays off a tough pitch. 2-2. looking for base runners against Houston Street. One blown save this season. He's allowed just 3 walks all year. Ground ball. Oh, Helton with a little pick, bobble, toss, safe at first. The hustle of Lastings Millage. He never takes anything for granted.
Nope. Todd Helton made a good stop.
First base umpire Todd Titchener calls him safe.
The drop cost him the out. Boy, and that is such a close call and an accurate call.
Great job on the first base umpire.
Todd knows that the drop cost him the out.
They'll give Millage an infield hit. Snyder.
Nothing changing at the top of the National League Central as St. Louis and Cincinnati both posting shutouts. Cincinnati 3-zip over the Cubs, and Adam Wainwright just keeps on trucking a 2-hit shutout. Cardinals beat the Fish 7-0. Is it 16-5, I think, for Adam Wainwright?
Very impressive. 16-6. Albert Pujols, his 28th home run. Philadelphia beat the Mets. Arizona leads San Diego. Adam LaRoche, his 18th of the year for the Diamondbacks. Will Venable for the Padres at his 10th. Latest rumor, I think Rob Beertemple, if I'm not mistaken, of the Tribune Review had it, that the Cardinals might have interest in Andy LaRoche. David Freese going to be out for the rest of the year. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Chris Snyder. Ground ball, third. Double play. Ball game. Street gets the save for Jason Hamill. 5-4-3. Game-ending DP around the horn. And Carlos Gonzalez, the star, part of this 15-hit attack. He went 3 for 4, drove in a couple, and hit his 24th home run of the year. They even up this series at a game apiece.
Kind of a funny feel to the game. The Pirates dominated until the lightning bolt by Alvarez in the 6th, and then the game just kind of got sloppy.
They end their 7-game road losing streak to the Colorado Rockies. Tomorrow night, Game 3 of the 4-game series. Trip Total Media Pirates pregame at 6:30. And then airtime for the first pitch is 7 o'clock here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. Once again, the final score is 6-3 Rockies. For Steve Blast and our entire FSN crew, Greg Brown saying thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Pirates postgame coming up next.